Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
So here's the Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid Villain Pack number 1. You got Rito Revolto, Master Vile, Commander Crayfish, and Poluticorn. And you can see each of the characters here on the front. On the back, you're going to get a look and see what the miniatures are like. It gives you a really good explanation of what cards you're getting. I wish all boxes were like this, actually showing you what you're going to get inside. Tells you you're going to need the base game in order to play it. And there's a big expander collection with the Megazoid Deluxe. So they're telling you if you want more minis, you can get the Megazoid Deluxe. You can add that to your collection. This is what it'll look like when you open it up. You're going to have some cards in here, which we'll take a look at, and we'll look detailed at the 4 miniatures. So the first thing you're going to see, these are going to be the boss card that you're going to have. You're going to have Master Vile, who will be a new boss, and Rito Revolto, which will be your 2 new bosses that you have. In addition, you have 2 new monsters, Commander Crayfish and Poluticorn, that will be added into the game. Let's take a look at all of these. So, Rito Revolto, let's take a look at him first. He's a skeleton man with a beating heart through there, and looks like you can see his lungs. Not a hard one, 4-4-5-5-5-6-6 with the health, not too bad. Let's take a look. Deal 5 damage. That's pretty brutal. He has 2 of those in his deck. Deal 3 damage to a single ranger twice. Oh, that can be pretty brutal, but I think the 5 is worse if you're asking me. Deal 3 damage to each ranger. So if you're doing group battle, his flamethrower can be pretty. Hideous Strength, it's a passive ability, which means it's ongoing as long as it's a face up. While this card is in play, each time a Rito Revolto card deals damage, increase that damage by 2. Nasty. Stumbling Fool is his fast, so if this comes out, that means he will strike first. Draw 2 cards from Rito Revolto's enemy deck, place them after this card in combat, place 1 hit token on each of those cards. So this one can be a little bit brutal in the fact that you're putting more cards out, and it can be very tough to defeat him with that. Next, we'll take a look at Master Vile. You can kind of see him very evil. Long fingernails always tells you somebody's evil. So you're looking at 5-5-5-6-5-5-6 on the health. So his health is a lot higher than some of the other ones. He's got a guard action, which means he can protect cards that are near him. So that can be pretty brutal. Deal 3 damage to each ranger twice. Yikes, that's very hard. You're going to get 2 of those. Hex Blast, deal 6 damage, and it's fast. He's going to attack first. Wow, that's tough. You get 2 of those. A passive ability is Hideous Power. While this card's in play, each time a Master Vile card deals damage, you increase that. We saw that again on the Revolto one. Negative weight drains 6 of yours. Woo, 6. There's 2 of those. And a passive. While this card's in play, the energy cost of all combat cards increased by 1. That one you can kind of deal with a little bit, but those drain 6. Woo, that is tough to deal with. The next monster, or the first monster we'll have is Poluticorn, which is some kind of unicorn. I don't really watch Power Rangers that much, but I find this really funny. So he's going to have a guard action. Let's see what it's 4-4-4-3-3-5-5-6. So a pretty tough monster in some regards. He's going to have a guard, which will protect other cards, which means you can't hit them until you hit this, but deal 5 damage. That's nasty. 3 of those. Prismatic Orbs deal 2 damage to each ranger twice. He's very powerful. Wow. Toxic Tornado. The rangers must discard a total of 4 cards divided as they choose. You can get rid of some weaker cards that way. It's not too bad. And the Unicorn Blaster deal 9 damage divided among all the rangers. So you can kind of spread that out with enough people there. I would probably recommend sending multiple people in to play the Poluticorn. Some of these monsters, I'm like, you don't need multiple people necessarily. I think with him, you might. That could be pretty brutal. And the last one's going to be Commander Crayfish. And it is a brutal-looking guy here. He looks strong. Let's see what he does. 4-4-4-4-4-5-3-3. So health-wise, one of the weaker ones. But I'm sure his power's going to make up for that. Deal 3 damage to a single ranger twice. That can be brutal. You can have 3 of those. Fast. That means he's going to go before the rangers. Deal 2 damage. Increase the stamina 1 for each foot soldier. We've seen that before. That's nothing new. Passive. Deal 5 damage when this card resolves. While this card is in play, each time an adjacent enemy card deals damage, increase it by 2. Wow. I've never seen that before. And we have this last one, which is a guard action. I'm just going to protect the ones next to it and dealing 4 damage. So he's a little bit of a weaker one, I think, but, perhaps could be pretty tough if the right cards come out in the right combination. So here are the miniatures. Let's take a look at them. Let's take a look at Rito Revolto first. He is a large miniature. Now, these are going to be very big, very chunky, but not as detailed as something as like Mythic Battles Pantheon. But I still think they're very nice. This comes up. I don't have to worry about this breaking. Maybe if a kid smashed it or something, but I don't have to worry about it too much. Let's get some details here and see what we can see. You can see the skeletons coming through and that beating heart, lungs, or whatever is in there. And his gun is pretty cool. It's one of my favorite miniatures in a set. I just think he looks really neat. The next one we're going to take at is Master Vile. And I would probably gander. This is borrowed heavily from Big Trouble in Little China. If not, my apologies. It just kind of reminds me of that for what it's worth. And this guy is kind of evil looking more in the pictures. I'd like to see him painted up because he looks kind of like an old evil man. And sometimes those can be spooky too, I guess. And then we're going to have here is Poluticorn. And I got to say, this is probably one of my favorite ones. This one just makes me laugh. It's just incredible with these wings, and he's just kind of funny the way he looks. He's got that horn coming off. I don't know. I just found him humorous. And the last one is Commander Crayfish. I expected this guy to be very brutal, and he ended up not being as strong as some of the other ones, perhaps. You know, they all have their strengths and weaknesses, I suppose. You can kind of see here. He's got those crab things, so he looks pretty cool. So what do I think of this expansion? You're going to get 2 bosses and 2 monsters involved, which is a pretty powerful punch for what you're going to get. This is basically a fresh game or 2 based on how you mix this up. You're always going to use 2 monsters and 1 boss in each scenario. So it gives you a lot of variety in this little box. And this is one of the first expansions of this size that I would add to the franchise. I think there are no new rules, but it gives you a ton of variety in here, which I appreciate quite a bit. So for this, I would say I like Unicorn. Poluticorn is stronger, I think, than the Crayfish guy. And I think probably this guy is one of my favorite guys to add in. He's just super creepy looking. I love the miniature and the way he looks. I like the way he plays. And both of these guys can be very brutal. So if you're looking to step up possibly the difficulty level in the game, this is one way to do it. If you just want to have variety to the game, this is one way to do it. And I like stuff like this. We just give me more things. And the bad guys and the monsters and the bosses, it's a great way to add variety to this game. Excellent. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel, lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else, keep playing games.